Welcome to the SEC Unfiltered channel, folks, in this SEC Basketball Sweet 16 reaction. Good morning, 12:52 here on the East Coast. Sorry, I feel like my hair's a little, what a wild finish, unfortunately, for the Razorbacks. What a disappointing loss there. Still, I think a really good year, especially when you talk about what they've done since February for John Calipari in his first year in Fayetteville. Alabama. Anything they were putting up was going in today from beyond the arc. Phenomenal win over BYU. We'll discuss that. Then Florida pulls away from Maryland, the Fab Five, really in the second half, guys. But before we get started, guys, as you know, this SEC basketball reaction is brought to you by our buddies over at FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/SECU to join today and get started with $200 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Guys, let's get to it. We got 3 games to cover. Let's go to Newark, New Jersey, the East region. The Alabama Crimson Tide getting the 113-88 win, guys. Man, we use terms epic, GOAT, best of all time, similar to GOAT. I know. Sorry, it's late, folks. We're running out of words here today. But that's where you're going to remember where you were tonight with that Alabama offensive performance, especially if you're an Alabama fan. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. You're going to remember where you were tonight, especially if you're a Bama fan, but really anybody. Alabama makes 25 three-pointers. He goes 25 for 51 from beyond the arc for 49%. Mark Sears, 34 points. Unbelievable. Alabama shoots 53% from the field. BYU, 45.8% from the field, 20% from beyond the arc. They were like 7% at half. It was bad for BYU. Couldn't shoot a ball into the ocean from a boat, or Alabama, anything they were putting up was going in. That's what it was for most of the night. Again, I think BYU had a rebounding advantage just at the half, but Bama ended up winning that one 37-36. Turnovers 13-11. Both these teams are turnover prone for sure. The largest lead, Bama got it up to 25. Bama was up 11 at half. Anytime BYU tried to get on a little bit of a run. Anytime BYU tried to get on a little bit of a run, Bama would go extended. Aiden Holloway to hit a three, or they were going on a mini run there. BYU, Mark Sears gets a steal. Bama was just answering. Bama looked locked in. You could just tell from the tip. I know BYU got up 5 quickly, but not quickly, really about around the 16 minute. It was back and forth till about last 8 minutes of the first half. But no, man, all-time epic offensive performance. Ties, right? NCAA record for three-pointers. Unbelievable. Yeah, 25. Tied it, folks. Unbelievable. Let me say right here. Most three-pointers made Alabama. Alabama. Yeah, they broke it. Sorry. Broke the three-point record tonight. 25. Last time was Loyola Marymount on March 8th, 18th, 1990 in the second round against Michigan. But they were saying it, yeah. I bet Bama minus 5.5 as well. Michael Lynn, bro, what a sports day. Michael Lynn, I went 7-1 today. I knew Bama would get the over and cover. Yeah, I always thought the key for Bama in this game was rebounding and just staying disciplined defensively. BYU's a really good basketball team, really. They do Kevin Young does a phenomenal job coming up with his sets. For BYU, Richie Saunders went for 25. They had 4 starters in double figures. Igor Demon, that guy's a 6'9" point guard. You see why he is an NBA draft lottery player. Really good player right there. For Bama, though, Mark Sears goes for 34. You had Chris Youngblood going for 19. Clifford Amore with 10. Grant Nelson, 10 points, won the hard hat for Alabama. 23 from Aiden Holloway. He was 6 for 13 from beyond the arc. 8 points for Aiden Sherrill. He hit a 3 late. Bama, just unbelievable performance. Up there with, if you know, 2021 Alabama, the COVID year in Baton Rouge hit. That, I think, exactly. It was something like that. I think it was Juju. Let me look it up. It was something very similar to those numbers. Very similar to those numbers. It's like 23. Was it? 3-point. Bama made 23. Yeah, tonight they made 25. But, man, Bama moves on to face Duke. Let's see if we have a line out yet. We got a tip time. I'll read it to you right now. Got it on my phone. We have Arkansas, Texas Tech, Florida. That'll be at 6:09 p.m. Eastern out in the West region in San Francisco. You got 8:49 p.m. Eastern, Bama, Duke. So they flip-flopped it this year. I think obviously because the headliner, Cooper Flag, everybody's been wanting to see this Bama-Duke matchup. They're getting it. So they pushed it to the prime spot, the late spot. So Bama's getting that. Let's see. Do we have any lines yet? We don't have a Bama-Duke line. We do have a Florida Texas Tech line though. Florida favored by 6.5. Interesting. I don't know. I'm guessing like 6, 5.5, 6. I think. I mean, that's what I would guess. 5.5, 6 probably they'll be giving Bama. Maybe a little less. I'd be surprised if it was over 6. If it's 6, I encourage you to take Bama. This is going to be a fun matchup, folks. This is really like the Elite Eight matchup that I think we've all wanted and needed. I mean, a young Duke team. How do they handle a close game? Again, I thought they did really well down the stretch, closing it out against Arizona here. Arizona didn't give up. They kept fighting back. But this is, again, this is only a Duke team. It's only lost 3 games, 34-3. Lost to Kentucky early in November in the Champions Classic. Lost at Clemson. That's the last time they lost on February 8th. And they also have a loss to Kansas early in the season as well. But they've only lost 1 time since November 26th and have not lost since February 8th. So what will we see? I mean, kind of some young cats on that team with Duke. Obviously, Cooper Flag, young team. Bama, veteran team. It's going to be a hell of a game, I think. This is going to be a hell of a basketball game. I really think so. Con Knipple, I'll be fired up for that. Malach, I'm fired up for him. I want to see the South Sudan kid. I'm fired up for a lot of these, man. Tyrese Proctor. I mean, it's going to be a good basketball. John Shire, Nate Oates. This is an Elite Eight game we deserve. We deserve, guys, for being the diehard college basketball fans that we are, sitting here at 1 a.m. on Thursday night. But where else would it be? Sweet 16 Thursday night, guys. But the Crimson Tide beats BYU, advances to the Elite Eight, 113-88. Second straight Elite Eight. Bama's been the second weekend forward of the past 5 years. There's not many, if any, outside of UConn. It's had as much success as the Crimson Tide in college basketball here recently. But Bama will tip off against Duke. Like I mentioned, was it 8:49 I mentioned? Yep, 8:49 p.m. Eastern in Newark. Winner heads to the Final Four, folks. Let's head over to San Francisco, and we'll stay in San Francisco because that's where the last 2 games were. But Florida getting the 87-71 win. I was worried about Alex Condon when he went out with that injury. I was a little worried about him. I thought he was key in Florida not having live turnovers because I knew Maryland could take advantage of it. Florida shoots 50% from the field, 39.3% from beyond the arc, 40% for Maryland, 31.6% from beyond the arc for the Terps. Rebounds, Florida just dominates. I mean, Florida dominates on the board. Just a deep team. 42-20, plus 22 in rebounding margin. Woo! Just dominant. Florida ended up with 17 turnovers, though. That's if they ultimately want to win this whole thing, that is the thing I would say. I need to go back and see how many are live ball turnovers, but 17 turnovers, that's not national title contender. And again, you may be, Florida's playing good basketball. They are. They're a great basketball team, but they have goals to go win it all. Just winning, getting to the Final Four, they have higher expectations, as wild as that is to say. This team should. Points in the paint, 38-30. So, no overall 2-point game at half. Florida's up 40-38, but Florida totally separates. Here we go. We got 4 starters in double figures. Ruben Chingulu with 10, Will Richard 15, Walter Clayton Jr. 13, Elijah Martin with 14. Thomas Hawk off the bench. Denzel Aberdeen. That's the thing with this team. If it's not Walter Clayton going off, only at 13, 3 for 9 from the field, 2 for 6 from beyond the arc. Will Richard 15, 14, Elijah Martin. You'll take that, especially when you're getting 13 from Hawk and from Thomas Hawk and Denzel Aberdeen off the bench. And Aberdeen, like I said, you see those number 12, and he usually has more rebounds than 1. He's kind of that Swiss Army knife guy, can do a lot. Florida is just a tough out, folks. I liked him in this game. The 2 bets I took tonight, Bama minus 5.5. I took Florida, too. I laid those points. Ultimately, I think it's 6.5 is what I got it at. 1 easily. I just thought this was a bad matchup for Maryland because, again, I think they're starting 5. Julian Reese, Derek Queen, especially those guys are really good players. I mean, even Jacoby Gillespie played well tonight. But they're not deep. Not a deep team. 3 points from the bench. 3 points combined from the bench. Florida just a better basketball team. They will move on to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I feel pretty good about Florida in that one, if I'm being honest. And again, remember, guys, I told you there's an opening line already. According to our buddies over at FanDuel, opening line already, Florida -6.5. -6.5 on that one. I actually like Florida again. I'll probably go put money on Florida. May go do it now. Get serious. May go do it now. Yeah, I don't know. I think Florida's had a little bit of an easier path, as they should. I mean, they're a 1 seed, but I think a lot of people overhype that West region a little bit. Am I wrong? Don't tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like a lot of people overhype that West region. It's like Texas Tech. Look, they came back. They had a big comeback. They came back and beat Arkansas. But I feel like Arkansas lost that game more so than Texas Tech won it. And you can say that's how most games happen. More games are lost than they are won, folks. That's what happened tonight. Texas Tech, they're going to play a lot better to beat Florida. I like Florida's matchup, man. I just do. I like Florida's matchup in this one. Let the Gators lay the points there, folks, if you're taking my gambling bets. Again, I went 2-0 today. Struggled throughout the tournament. I've gotten a lot of my picks right. But, yeah, the West region, I don't know. That was just an overhyped region to me for the most part. But moving on, the Florida Gators get the 87-71 win. They will play on Saturday, folks. Like I mentioned, 6:09 p.m. Eastern in San Francisco, Oracle Arena against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who just beat our buddies over from Fayetteville, folks. But let's go to that one real quick. Remember, overtime loss, 85-83. You're up, 12-13 with 4 minutes left, and you blew it. Tough loss. Just a true roller coaster of a season for Arkansas. But in this game specifically, Arkansas shoots 41% from the field, 40% from beyond the arc. Texas Tech, 41% from the field, 25% from beyond the arc. Yeah, I mean, where was this Arkansas's team shooting at all year, especially in that first half? They're up 38-31 at half. Nelly Davis, that looked like the Nelly Davis we were accustomed to seeing at FAU. That's what we've been wanting to see. Rebounds, Tech got after them, 51-39. Turnovers weren't bad for either team, 10 for Arkansas, 8 for Texas Tech. Points in the paint, 50 for Texas Tech, 30 for Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, it went a pretty night from beyond the arc for Texas Tech for the most part, 25 points. I mean, Arkansas got this lead up to 16 points. Felt like they controlled most of this game, folks. That's a heartbreaker, especially if you just went on a big run to get to the Sweet 16 in John Calipari's first year. Like I mentioned, Nelly Davis, 30 points, 8 of 22 from the field, 3 of 9. Carter Knox, 20 points. He played really well. For a young cat, he really blossomed. You like seeing that. We'll see what his future holds. Will he be back in Fayetteville? To be determined. Not a lot off the bench tonight, though. 2 points from Billy Richmond. Adu Thero, only 1. Big Z played 12 minutes but recorded 3 rebounds and really had 2 assists and a steal. 13 points for DJ Wagner. Trevin Brazile started to look real comfortable. I'll say that. Ended up with 5 boards, 11 points, but had some key buckets there. Arkansas, a lot to build on McCall's first year. Again, it wasn't great up till February. Remember, this was a team that started off 0-5 in league play, folks. 0-5 for the people in the back. Turned it on, even in some losses in February. I thought they were playing well. Auburn, they made a late push against Alabama at home to come back. I thought they played some good basketball. Just stinks it ends. This is how your season ends, this way. You blew it. You blew it late in the game in the second half. Again, I think you'll look back on, hey, we went to the Sweet 16. It looked like it could have been way worse. It was getting off. The train was getting off the tracks early in the season in January. We would have been fired up to hear that we went to the Sweet 16 if you told us after we started 0-5 in league play, hey, you get to the Sweet 16. It is what it is. But in the moment, I'm sure it really stinks for Razorback fans. I'm sure it is. Or sure it does. It's a tough pill to swallow. You're up double digits with 4 minutes left. That's just tough. That's a tough way to lose a basketball game, folks. I mean, it really is, man. I'm looking it up, the game-by-game stat. Let's see. So at 4:43, you're up 69-56 off the Nelly Davis made layup by the assist from Billy Richmond. You're up 13 with 4:43 left. You're up 10 with 3:54. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, folks. I hate to pour salt in the wound there, folks, but that's, man. Anyway, what else you say? Season's over. tough one to go to sleep on, especially that late one if you're a Razorback fan. But again, I think you can rest your laurels on, hey, Cal got the guys off the mat when everybody else was buried dead left. I remember everybody put us in the coffin 6 feet under. They just didn't put the nails in. Man, DJ Wagner, our guy Michael Lynn mentioned it. He was playing really well. I thought they were playing really well for the most part. I was like, man, we're about to have a Florida-Arkansas Elite Eight, which I would have liked Florida big in that one too. I would have liked Florida big in that Elite Eight matchup. Like I said, I think the West was a little overhyped. Florida's by far the best team in that region. But Arkansas, I thought for the most part, for about 80, 85% of that basketball game was the better team tonight. That last 15% of the half, last 4 minutes when you're up 13, you can't blow that. It's non-negotiable, folks. Tough. A really, really tough pill to swallow there if you're an Arkansas fan. But no, I think I wouldn't say phenomenal season, but it wasn't a bad season either. You Sweet 16, especially after you picked it up. Cal goes hits the portal. We'll go full time on that. But man, Sweet 16 appearance for Cal in his first year at Arkansas. So we'll see. Season final grade. Now I'd probably give him what they finished this year record was 22-14. I'll go a B plus. And because you got to judge it a little differently, the regular season compared to what you did in the postseason. Postseason, I think they were a 10 seed. They were the Cinderella in this second weekend. As wild as that is to say with all the talent on that team. But no, B, go to the portal. Need to get some playmakers. You need to get this team to gel a little quicker this next year. I think that should be the goal for Cal and carry that on into March because you have something to build off of after you've been playing so well in February, guys. But you know what else you can build off of, guys? Our buddies over at FanDuel. This bracket season, FanDuel is letting you make the call because right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to bet on everything from clutch shots to last-second heartbreaks and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join, there's no better time. There's tourney action almost every day, and FanDuel has the amazing bet types like spreads, totals, game props, and so much more. So visit FanDuel.com/SECU and get in on the college hoops action all tourney long. Must be 21 plus and present in select states for 18 and older and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with the Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or HOPE-NY in New York, folks. Let's get to this comment here by David Park. Connor Knox will be an NBA player. DJ Wagner still is a solid 4-year college player, not NBA caliber. Yeah, I agree with that. Carter Knox looked really good tonight. Him and Trevin Brazil and obviously Nelly Davis. I saw Jeff Goodman tweeted it. That was we'd been seeing John Nell Davis, not Nelly Davis. That looked like FAU Nelly Davis, but I agree with you. Carter Knox, higher upside there. Just looking ahead to tomorrow, folks. Remember, we got 4 SEC teams in action. Ole Miss kicking us off 7 or 9 p.m. Eastern in the South region in Atlanta. They're 3.5-point underdogs to Michigan State and Tom Izzo. 7:30 at 9 p.m. Eastern, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indy. Tennessee currently a 4.5-point favorite. Remember, Kentucky's won both these matchups so far this season. And then finally, Michigan, Auburn at 9:39 p.m. Eastern in Atlanta as the nightcap in the South region. Auburn currently an 8.5-point favorite. Tomorrow, like I said, I like Michigan State. It would not shock me, though, folks, if Ole Miss wins. Key will be rebounding in that game. Ole Miss kind of a smaller team. I think actually the second smallest team in the SEC height-wise, which doesn't mean everything. If you got a wide booty, you can knock some people out. Wide bodies, too. That's some mass on that. That helps, too. It's not just about height. Kentucky, Tennessee. Give me Tennessee. Both times Kentucky has played Tennessee this year, they've gone 12 for 24 from beyond the arc, shooting 50% in both games, which is wild to think. 12 for 24. You made the same. You attempted the same. Interesting. And I think Tennessee shot 15% and 12% from beyond the arc. I don't think that happens again. I know they're playing in a football stadium, but they're off to a corner. Give me Tennessee. I don't think Kentucky beats Tennessee for a third time. And then Auburn, Michigan. I think Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf could cause Auburn some issues. I do, but I think Auburn ultimately gets the win. Should be a lot of Auburn fans. The South region tickets, I think, is the hardest ticket to get in this thing so far. But give me Auburn tomorrow in another close game. I could see all three of these games being pretty close down to the wire. That would not shock me at all, folks. But again, guys, two teams from the SEC advancing to the Elite Eight. The Alabama Crimson Tide advance after a big win over BYU. They will face Duke at 8:49 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. And then you have Florida advancing to the Elite Eight to play Texas Tech, 6:09 p.m. Eastern. I keep checking my phone, guys. It's late. I'm sorry. 6:09 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Yeah, 6:09 p.m. Eastern in San Francisco. I remember last year they did the West one because that was Alabama Clemson, and they did, I think, Duke, Illinois in the Elite Eight in Boston early. So I thought with the East Coast, the East bracket with Newark, which is where Alabama and Duke are, I thought they would do that first. But again, they're just putting that prime time because I think it's the matchup they know everybody's kind of been waiting. But guys, two SEC teams. Now, if you're an Arkansas fan, hey, hell of a year since February. You went to the Sweet 16 in Cal's year. I'm sorry the season ended, but if you're a Florida Gator or Alabama Crimson Tide fan, your season continues on, guys. We will be back tomorrow night reacting to all three games, including SEC teams, where we got four games. Ole Miss, Michigan State, Kentucky, Tennessee, SEC on SEC for a third time, and then obviously Auburn, Michigan. So we'll be back to react to all that. But guys, for your head college basketball analyst, I am Dave Shumate. You have a great rest of your morning. Folks. I will see you tonight.